What's up, guys? It is Thursday, April 17th, 5:20 p.m., and we're going to dive into the crypto charts, see what's going on with Bitcoin, the traditional markets, along with the altcoins as well, too. Traditional markets are now closed for the week. Tomorrow is Good Friday, heading into Easter for the weekend, so now's a good time to smell check some of the weekly charts to see where we're at as far as this grand turnaround. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with the macro drivers of traditional markets. We have the dollar here on the left side. So as you can see, we have this vertical green prepare to buy soon on the 3-day chart. We had our sell back late January. We had our buy back in October of last year. And usually when the dollar goes down, that's a good environment for cryptos go up. But a little odd that those mechanics haven't been playing out as of the past months here. Because when we did get that buy now in October for the dollar, we started trending up until like January. And this whole period was when crypto was going up. And then this whole period since the sell, cryptos have been going down. So maybe we're rooting for a buy now to come in for the dollar here. And then we could see acceleration of the grand turnaround. But we do have that 3-day prepare to buy soon. It flashed a couple days ago. And once we get that buy now signal, I'd assume that we're going to level off for the dollar and this downtrend will at least subside for a little bit. But we do have this trend line coming down like that. And if we were to break down below this trend line and below 98.5, then we could see a rapid meltdown for the dollar because we'd break down below that 4236, break down below this trend line that's been holding us as support this whole way down. We could see a big red candle come in if that's the case. So we'll keep a heavy eye on that. Let's look on the right side of the screen. We have the US Russell 2000 here, and we have a 10-day prepare to buy soon. We're holding some key levels right now. If we take a look at the 1-week chart, let's see what that's shaping up and saying. We have 1 week prepare to buy soon, multiple ones here. We can get a 1-week buy now. That would tell us that at least the dust has settled here. I'd really like to see us get and reclaim back above 2000 because that would get us above the 1 week 200 moving average here and back above this critical resistance, which was support right here, now resistance. So we need to get above that level, 2000. And then ideally above 2200 for validation of more strength to come in and for the traditional markets to be more healthy. But for now, we're holding the line at these key levels. I believe from this low to the high here, we held the 786 on this macro scale. So as long as we can remain above 1800, then we're okay. It's just a matter of breaking down below there with heavy momentum that we got to get a little nervous. But for now, we're good. We're good. 1 week prepare to buy soons. 10-day prepare to buy soon. We have 2-week prepare to buy soon. We haven't seen a 2-week prepare to buy soon since September 2022, which actually was the utmost bottom in the US Russell 2000. And we're holding the 200 moving averages here as well, too, similar to back then. So we did have some high time frame sells just like before in 2021 and then in 2025 here. And now we're seeing some prepare to buy soon. So this happened extremely fast. So next week is going to be a pivotal week as far as what pans out here going forward for the rest of these months heading into summer and ultimately the macro direction of this crypto run and the traditional markets as well too. We're at a breaking point. So yeah, that's what I'm watching here to hold these levels. So now if we go to gold, let's take a look. So on the 3-week chart, we're still heading up here. We broke above the 2618. It's very likely we're going to see gold continue up until we hit 3,800 to potentially 4,000. For gold, we'd hit those extension levels. We hit the purple MA on the snakes. And in my opinion, that could be the last breath here until gold kind of pulls back and kind of, consolidates for a bit or corrects a little bit, which last time in November 2020, when we saw that sell come in on gold and we kind of leveled off, went sideways, that set up cryptos for the last bull run to go parabolic. So I'd assume we'd want to see that same thing happen here as well too. So that's that. Now let's take a look at the total crypto market cap. So as you can see here, we've been butting up against this downward sloping trend line resistance. Let me go to a higher time frame, like a 3-day chart. So yeah, you can see here, we've been butting up against it. We started this trend line back in February, actually even probably before then. Yeah, back in January of this year, we've been seeing resistance all along these couple of months here at this trend line. And right now we spent about 9 days trying to break through it. And let's see if, the odds are looking good that this time we can actually do it, because if we look at the momentum down here, we are starting to change and turn a corner here. We have the TSI crossing. We haven't seen a cross since back late December of last year, where we actually saw the start of this downtrend. We're seeing a flip on the MACD from red to green, first green MACD in a bit, but we still need to see the candle close in a day and 3 hours. So the weekly candle close here will be an important one, because we'll have the weekly candle, the 3-day, and heading into next week, we need to see that continuation to know that this isn't just another failed move up and then ultimately move lower to a lower low. So we're butting up against this trend line. We have the market structure ribbon we're trying to hold above. We have the momentum in our favor at this moment, but we do need some more time to turn this thing around and have continuation. So let's take a look at like the 2-day chart. So the 2-day chart, we're holding above the 200 moving averages here, and we're stuck at the 21 moving average. So we're seeing this 21 moving average, this purple one, act as resistance, this 200 moving average acting as support, and we're at this critical crossroads. Are we going to smash up and see a big move to the upside to test some key levels, or are we going to see a rejection again and come down and maybe do a double bottom, test the 786? That's the real key here. But seeing the stock RSI heading up here, we're seeing that momentum come up. We don't want to see a cross back down. We have the TSI putting in a higher low here. Meanwhile, we had the price action put a lower low, so we're seeing some bullish divergence. We need to see that pink get above the blue for a trend change, the market structure to flip and turn the tides from a downtrend to an uptrend. And then we need to see this RSI get above this 50 line, and that will help the cause for a switch back to the upside as well too. But we've broken this downwards sloping trend line for resistance on the RSI on the 2-day chart. We broke that actually in mid-March. We came back down in early April. Maybe that was a retest on this trend line. And now we're getting close to potentially making a new higher high here from the March high that we had put. So yeah, this weekly candle close and 3-day candle close heading into next week will be pivotal as far as the direction going forward for crypto. So we need to hold the line for the total crypto market cap at like 2.55 trillion. If we were to go any lower, I would say 2.47. We wouldn't want to go lower than that for candle body closes. And we really need to get above and break above 2.7 trillion with weekly candle body closes, 3-day candle body closes consecutively to see that continuation. So let's take a look at some lower time frames like the 12-hour chart and see what's panning out there. So we did flip this market structure ribbon from red to green, but we've done that before during these times of trying to find a move to the upside. So really every single time that we flipped the market structure ribbon from red to green, we tried to hold it, but it was when we smashed back below and flipped it red again was when we saw a continuation lower, like back here in February. And then we tried to do it here in March. We went lower. So yeah, like I was saying, 2.55 trillion, definitely critical to hold because we don't want to come back down, break this market structure ribbon, green, turn it red again, because it's likely we would continue this pattern of going down lower, going down lower, going down lower. So where we're at right now, critical, and we don't want to break 2.55 trillion with candle body closes. So that's what I'm watching like a hawk, and we really want to come back up, break above 2.77 trillion, and then ultimately 3 trillion would get us out of the woods, of course. Let's take a look at the drivers for crypto, like USDT dominance right here. So we're seeing this trend line coming up. We need to break it. We're trying hard to do it. You can see for the first time, we're starting to cross down. We're seeing the MACD flip red. We haven't seen that since December here as well too. So we're starting to see the tide start to shift, the early signs of a reversal, but we need to see that continuation and follow through. And that's what we'll find out by the end of next week for sure. So coming down and breaking down below, really 5% will be the key for USDT dominance to know that we're heading lower in this, which would mean that money's flowing out of the stable coins. And if we can see in tandem Bitcoin dominance falling down, that would mean that, money is flowing into the altcoins, others dominance. So good sign here, seeing that momentum start to shift on USDT dominance. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, we have a 3-day sell warning waiting for that sell now to flash. Then we'll know that, all right, we're starting to see the momentum shift for Bitcoin dominance. And then for others dominance, we came down to retest these lows here that we had set early April. Let's take a look at a weekly chart on this. And we need to see that momentum build on the weekly chart for others dominance. Still not quite there yet, but getting closer. If we take a look at the 5-day chart, we can start to gauge if we're getting closer and closer to that momentum flipping. So we have 5-day prepare to buy soons here. We're holding these lows. So if we can just see a little bit of a kick up and others dominance, which will result in USDT dominance coming down, Bitcoin dominance coming down, then we can see that buy now come in and we can see that momentum start to head back up to the upside. So that's what we'll be watching. And then we have the alt season pulse chart. We're ultimately waiting for that 3-day sell now to come in as well too here. And we're retesting a level that, we've been at in the previous times where we've fallen from, has kicked off the major alt seasons in the past bull runs. It's not loading up right now, but I've covered it in my past videos. So let's go to others chart for the pump dump chart on top here. So if you take a look on the daily chart, we are seeing the momentum come down. Let's go to the 3-day chart. Let's check that out. So we are seeing that momentum coming down, but we haven't quite flipped red yet in the MACD. The TSI is crossed down. The stock RSI is crossed down. We could be just, at this phase here where we had our first top. So this is our first top. We come down, second top, we come down, and maybe we're just awaiting this last gasp type of move, and then we're ready to send it as far as this coming down, and then ultimately others would pop up based off of that. So we could be in the last phase here. So we'll be watching that like a hawk. And how long would that take to pan out? Let's say if we're right here, it would take maybe about, like from now until the end of April. And then really we accelerate this down in May, which would accelerate altcoins up in May. So we're in this, pivotal moment for the markets here. And we know what we're watching now. So let's take a look at the others market cap. So now we're going to look at the others here. And we still have this. We're still heading down in this downtrend. We haven't broken above the critical resistance yet, but we're getting close. We're hanging on by a thread, trying to break it. You can see here on the 3-day chart, similar thing as what I was showing with total crypto market cap. And this kind of aligns to what I was just showing in the others pump dump chart, as far as it was like inverse, where we saw like what I was showing here with it froze up. But how I was showing the first top, the swoop down, the second top, and then the last gasp. We can compare this to back here where we saw our first bottom. So our first bottom here, our little pop up like this, This didn't cross, but this did. And then we came down for our second bottom, and then we have an actual cross to pull back down. And then this is where we see the acceleration. So we could be at this phase right here, like end of August, right? Comparatively, which would mean that if we go to the chart here, so end of August, we could be at, this phase right here where we go down for one more low and then we send it up, work ourselves out. Or we could be, somewhere like here where we already did that and it's just happening faster, because this is happening faster versus last time. So it's a little more like scrunched in. So this, what we just did here, could have been this happening right here, this happening right here. It's not showing up. My computer's kind of freezing up a bit. There we go. And then we could be seeing, all right, now we see our move up and then we kind of go sideways and then we see our last move. So then we go up sideways like that and then we see our last move. So that's what I'm watching. I believe that, in my opinion, not financial advice, that the bottom is already in. So that's how I'm going to be playing it. So that's it. That's the macro drivers for traditional markets and the crypto markets. I'll be putting out another video later today on individual altcoins like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Flare, ZBCN, Ondo, and any other ones you guys want me to cover. XCN, just leave a comment of a ticker you want me to cover and I'll throw that in that altcoin video. And then I will be gone for the rest of this weekend for traveling for Easter and Good Friday. So that'll be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Join the Discord, link is in the bio for that, and I'll see you over there. Cheers.